I want to display evidence that God is real. Okay. I had a dream this morning. I always call it in the morning because it be in the wee hours of the morning. I doze off and I wake up. Okay. The other day, the dream were people were hanging from trees, and I felt like they were on their way, like they were headed somewhere, they were going somewhere, right? Like it's something is about to take place, but it's needed. Like it's nothing harmful to the believers, but it is something that's about to take place. A big major change is coming, and I'm not gonna say that it's negative because I don't feel like it's negative. I feel like it's needed. Maybe some negative things will take place, but it's needed, right? So this morning, in the wee hours of the morning, y'all, I was with Jesus. I told y'all he comes to see me. Like I can't really count how many times I've seen him because he comes in different forms. He meets you where you are. So now I've gotten advanced, right? When I first saw him at 13, I seen him in lights. Like he looked like the laser show. The laser show build a man, and then as he came forward, his flesh began to fill in. See, if you try to listen to this stuff with some flesh, you're going to call me a liar. You're going to say I'm not being truthful. So therefore, until you learn how to be spiritual, just don't say nothing. Just listen at this as if it's a story, like a fairy tale that's being told. And it's a good story and you're being blessed from it. So this morning, y'all, I dreamed I was standing with Jesus. And for some reason, we were holding hands. And there was a line of people as far as the eye can see. And all these people had milk jugs in their hands. So I'm like, are they getting water? Like what are they putting in these milk jugs? All he had to do was look at me, and I looked at him, and I felt like milk jug. So I said, oh, it's a fountain of milk. They're getting milk. So I start looking at the people in line. These people look like they were sick. Some look like they were hurting. Some look like they had been abused. You could feel the confusion coming off these people. You could feel pain coming off these people. You can hear or like feel, because it's all telepathic, it's all vibrational, right? You can just tell these people needed something from God, like they needed a word, they needed a touch, and these are the people that wanted it. Like they wanted, they were willing to wait in that line with their empty jug so it can be filled, right? So I noticed that when some of the people were going to the top, I never could see what they were getting, but I could see people coming back, and they didn't look the same. They looked more healthier, they looked more happier, they looked like they had it together, they looked like they were ready to come here and really get their life straight, like really sets the record straight, like they got an answer, and they were rejoicing, they were dancing, they were shouting hallelujah, they were saying I love you, Lord. Like they were skipping, they were having so much joy from leaving that place, and all of them had their milk jugs. But these jugs didn't have the red tops on them to close them. They had golden tops. And these milk jugs didn't look plastic. They looked sort of glass like. Maybe there's a type of plastic in heaven. I don't know. It's an advanced plastic. But you could see through them, and I could see the milk. The milk was so white, I could actually see the milk in the jug. So the dogs came in here and the dogs woke me up out of that dream. So today I've been like, God, please give me the meaning of that dream. Give me the discernment of that dream. And so I had to think about what was the main thing in that dream. What word stood out to me, y'all, because God is really hidden inside of words. No matter what nobody tell you, you full of them. They're everywhere. You cannot escape the word. How else is God going to talk to you? So in order for him to talk to you, he got to be in the words. He got to be the word, right? So y'all, let me tell you, as I researched milk, the memory began to form in my mind, the images of when I met we, the word W-E. I met the word we and I talked to we. And I asked we, like, what's happening to me? Like, what am I being prepared for? I feel like I'm being prepared for something because I kept hearing that song, Dara Coley Follow Me, called He's Preparing Me. Remember, I said, anytime things repeat itself, it's a message. He's preparing me. Those are words. Those words were alive. Those words were following me. I needed to know that God was preparing me for something. So I said, what was the word that stood out to me in this vision? It was milk, y'all. And do you know, we told me that God was preparing me. And he said that the promise was that my children and my children's children's children shall forever live in the land of milk and honey. Now, I never understood that I couldn't get milk and honey, but you know, you go physical, a land flowing with milk and honey. But y'all, I understand what the milk is. The milk is the nourishment of when God is feeding his babies, because they can't eat solid foods yet. But he's making their organs strong enough, like he's developing their organs in order for them to be able to digest the meat. So I was giving his babies milk. I discovered that I was the one in the front giving them milk. They were getting substance from me. So let me tell y'all, when I researched milk, because like I said, the Bible is meant for you to reference. When God give you something, you can go to the Bible and reference to check. When God give you something, you can go to Google and check. When God gives you something, you can go to the Quran, you can go to the Torah, you can go to any teaching that makes you feel comfortable into getting your information. So what I did was I went to Google. And I said, what did the Bible have to say about spiritual milk? And y'all, this is what popped up. It says, about this, we have much to say, and it is hard to explain since you have become dull of hearing. For though by this time you ought to be teachers, you need someone to teach you the basic principles of the oracles of God. Do you hear that? We need someone to teach us the basic principles of the oracle of God. So see, you can't explain God literally. You have to go psychologically. Okay. You need milk, not solid food. For everyone who lives on milk is unskilled in, listen at this, Mr. Rage, is unskilled in the word of righteousness, since he is a child. So you're a child drinking milk. You're learning about righteousness. You're being trained to be a person of word. Like your words are being reconciled. Your words are being changed. Not that I don't know. I don't believe. Oh, this ain't real. Every death word in you is getting life. So your words are being trained in righteousness. Okay? Okay? Mr. Rage, it says, but solid food is for the mature. The mature. So y'all can see Mr. Rage is I don't even think he done drunk the milk yet. He needs the milk. But solid food is for the mature. Someone with mature spirituality will not attack you, will not belittle you, will not Bible slap you, will not call you deaf, will not call you dumb, will not insult you because you're not understanding where they're coming from. This person has patience because this person understands that to understand God, you got to strip. You have to give up the ghost. But his ears, we're going to leave it alone. It say, but solid food is for the mature. For those who have their powers of discernment trained by constant practice to distinguish good from evil, meaning you never get off. There are no off days. And when I tell you it seems like you going to work, you punching in the clock, y'all, it's the most easiest thing because you're dealing with words. You're dealing with the thoughts that are piled up in your mind. You're dealing with all the stuff that you done gathered. You dealing with everything negative that you done heard. And you're sifting and you're sorting. This is why you're questioning. This is why your questionings are outrageous because you're waking up. You know something ain't right. You know something wrong. You know you're more than what these people have told you that you are because you've gotten a peek at your powers, but they scare you. So you dumb them down, right? You try to explain them away. But see, you can't explain spirituality with flesh. The crap don't go together. So keep listening, y'all. It says, on that day I swore to them that I would bring them out of the land of Egypt into a land that is flowing with milk and honey, the most glorious of all lands, right? This is to the people that are standing in line with the judge. These are to the people that are trying to get the word across to somebody else. These are to the people that are held captive by bondage. And bondage are those negative, death, evil, backbiting, stabbing, piranha type words. Pig-like type words, right? Dart words, arrow words, stabbing words, jamming words, choking words, stealing words, beating words, spitting on you words. Those words, okay. That's what is trying to be pulled out of Egypt into a land flowing with milk and honey. It's telling Rage, you're Rage, yes, you're Rage, but you don't have to be amped up, boo. You can take a break. You still rage, just come out when needed. But being enraged 24/7 the entire time you're holding a conversation with somebody is the worst way to be because God is in people. God is in the word, and you're attacking people's words and you're attacking their presence, meaning you don't want to hear shit. You don't want to know shit. So stop asking questions because time somebody start to answer you, you cut them off. You chop them off. And it's a big disrespect to your inner man because you ain't the one answering the questions, dumbass. It's your inner man that's asking the questions. Your inner man know that it's being held hostage by that demon named Rage. And it wants out. It's not you asking these questions, boo. It's your inner man. But see, you're so clouded by insulting people, by pushing your hurt and your pain off on people. You don't even realize that God about to make you a Paul. And that's the worst thing to be. You're going to become what you loathe. So everything you saying, every word you taking and you turning it into a dart and you using it to aim at God people who only trying to be peaceable, who only trying to give you the answer to your questions that you're asking. Baby, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. Cause Paul had to feel like the biggest dumbass. To me, he the biggest dumbass in the Bible. Done killed all them Christians. Done beat all them Christians. It don't matter what label you call them. They people that love God. And he did them like that for their love of God. And then he turned around and fell in love with God. Don't be that person, Rage, because I see that happening to you. Now listen at this. And because of the abundance of milk that they give, he will eat curds. For everyone who is left in the land will eat curds and honey. So, to those who can withstand the race, to those who can stand in the line and wait on their milk, they turn that milk into cheese. So you get to eat cheese and honey with your milk. That cheese has to be churned. That cheese is a special cheese. It's a special anointing. See, you don't get the milk yet. You see how the meat yet. You see how it goes in stages. It goes in stages. God isn't going to give you meat right away. He's going to give you milk. So, in the Bible, they had goat milk, they had sheep milk, and they had cow milk. I wanted to know what was the difference in the milks, and my brother Tori helped me out. He let me know that the goat and the sheep milk was given during the spring and the summer. And they made the butter and the cheese and the honey because it helped the enzymes in the summertime, right? And it was thin, so it kind of helped you move around. But in the winter time, in the fall, they gave you cow's milk because the cow milk more thicker, it's more richer, and it stick to your bones, right? And it's harder to digest than the goat and sheep milk, and it stick like meat. So when you get your cow milk, guess what? You going towards your meat, baby. You finna get a meal. So listen to this. Come, everyone who thirsts, come to the waters, and he who thirsts, he said, come with no money. Come buy and eat. But you said come with no money, right? See, this how confusing people be when they read the Bible literally. It's not literal. It's psychological, Rage. You have to go psychological. It says, come buy. Come with no money. Come buy wine and milk without money and without price. This is Isaiah 55:1. Guess what? Trust is your payment. Your trust is your money. All he's doing is saying, believe in me, follow me, right? Your trust is your money, and you will get wine and you will get milk. And you don't gotta spend it. Like, you don't gotta try to work for it. You ain't gotta try to sweat for it. All he's asking is just listen to me. Just believe in what I'm telling you. It says, therefore, behold, I am handing you over to the people of the east for a possession. Now, this was a message to me for the dream that I had, y'all. This came at the end. Remember, I did a video last night and I was showing you how God put his signature on the messages. Like, I knew that message was for me because I have a heart transplant and the person in the movie received a heart transplant, right? So it says, therefore, behold, this is to me. I am handing you over to the people of the east for a possession. Meaning, I done found my place. I know where I'm going. God has a special place for me, and he's giving me the region of the east. The entire East belongs to me. So listen. And well, I belong to the East because he gave me to the East. He gave me to the deity called East. East is a corner of the world. I got my own corner of the world. Y'all don't know what this is doing to me. And they shall set their encampments among you and make their dwelling in your midst. They shall eat of your fruit and they shall drink your milk. Y'all, this was a message for me. Listen to this. Ezekiel 25:4. This was God's signature to me about the vision of the people standing in the line with the milk jugs coming to get milk, but I had no idea that I was the one giving out the milk until I read this. Listen. Ezekiel 25 verse 4. Therefore, behold. When you say behold, behold gotta have power in it. I am handing you over to the people of the east for a possession. And they shall set their encampments among you and make their dwelling in your midst. They shall eat of your fruit and they shall drink your milk. God now send these people to me. I can't give them my version. I can't give them my thoughts on stuff. I can't give them my feelings on stuff. Yeah, I can add it in there when I'm talking about the message, but I'm supposed to give you the image that God is showing me. I'm supposed to give you the impulses that God is giving me. I'm supposed to give you the conversations that we're having. I'm supposed to give you the proof. The proof. If the person is talking to you and you're wondering did their message come from God, ask them to give you proof. Because people want proof. Y'all, this is proof. First, I had a dream about milk. But before I had the dream, I met the word we. And y'all, it's so spiritual. The word we is the numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are deities. These are governors. God placed them inside you to combat the lower energies that were mated with us, which is negative thinking, bad words. Bad words got into our mind and began to tell us lies because they did not want to be away from the good presence. God kicked bad words out of heaven, y'all. And heaven is your state of mind. Heaven is your thinking. Your imagination is God. If you want God, if you are looking for God, baby, you gotta go in your imagination. There is no other way to explain it. You can't get out of it. And if you're too busy fighting people, if you're too busy biting people's heads off, you can't be in imagination. You have a wall up. You're solid. You're rejecting reason. You are what the wind is. You are what breath is. So if you can get in your thinking, right, and remove yourself from the breath, from the body. You can't physically do it, but you can do anything in your imagination. And how do you know God? How do you know God is real? How do you know you following God? How do you know you got the right God? Well, let me tell you, Mr. Rage, I'm finna answer your question. But see, don't fight me on my answer until you can prove that my answer is wrong, baby. So you can stay safe. Now, God is in the word, whether you want to believe that or not. You can fight God on that. But in the beginning was the word. Word was made flesh. You are word, you're flesh. So don't ask how in the world can God put flesh on the word. You walking around every day and you full of words. All you do is speak words. And you speak some nasty words, by the way. Some very ugly, damaging words. But how do you know God? You know God by the very words that you carry. It depends on where you are in your faith. It depends on where you are in your thinking, right? When God wants to talk to you, he will show you a word. Now, you already got your defenses up with the word. You don't believe God is in the word. Well, it's going to be hard for you to get what I'm saying if you got a wall up. But if you could take your wall down for a minute and just listen at what I'm saying, you will say, oh, shoot, this has happened to me before. Now, words repeat themselves. If God wants you to know something, if you open any biblical scriptures, I know you hate the books, but you have to go to the books to reference because God speaks holy, and you're rarely going to find what he got to say in a worldly book. All his stuff is holy, it's considered sacred. But if you pay attention to the stuff that repeat itself in the Bible, you'll see God is a parent. Parents repeat themselves when they need to tell their children something, and they say it in a lot of different ways, but it still mean exactly what they're saying, so you can get the point. And God repeats himself a lot. And if somebody loves you, they'll tell you again, like they'll warn you more than one time. So how do you find God out here? You pay attention to the words that keep repeating themselves in your presence. It's simple little words. And now a word can be an object. A word can be a color. A word can be an insect. A word can be a number. A word can be an animal. A word can be a building. A word can be a t-shirt. A word can be a commercial. A word can be in a movie. A word can be anything in your house. Anything in your house. Your couch, your pillows, your tables, your chairs, your refrigerator, your coffee maker, your salt, your pepper, your tomatoes, your eggs, your toilet. Everything is a word, baby. And if you take this skin off, if you come out of your harsh thinking, you will realize that God is in every word. Now, Tasha, what do you mean by God is inside of a word? How in the world he gonna be inside of a word? Well, let me explain this to you, baby. I had a daughter that passed. She was born with half of a heart. Before my daughter passed, I took a picture in front of a purple heart, not knowing that I made an imprint. There was somebody on your page telling you about imprints and you cussed them out so nasty, but they were telling you the truth. Some things that you do when you move, you make an imprint, you make a blueprint, you make an impression without knowing, but you'll be able to use this as a reference when God wants to talk to you. Baby, I start noticing purple hearts in certain places many years later. But this is as I'm waking up. I'm a heart transplant recipient. Baby, I know what I'm talking about. So heart is connected to me. My daughter died with half of a heart. My mother died of heart congestion. I have had a heart transplant. So when God is speaking to me, he go through the heart. He used the heart. He can show me a heart in so many different ways. Through these hearts, depending on where I am in my life, I know when God is talking to me. I know when I'm in the right place. I know when I'm going down the right path. I know when he's around. And you can say my daughter is around because it's all one thing. Once you come out of your flesh, you become everything. You become the words, you become the colors, you become the numbers, you become the wind, you become the water. You have no form. And your thoughts, so you could be whatever you want to be. You're an imager. You can imagine any image you want to be if you wanted to, right? Baby, sometimes when I'm riding down the road, I can look up, I'm on Purple Heart Highway. One time I didn't want to go to the Waffle House for Christmas because I didn't cook. It was a lot going on. I was depressed. I was sad. I was hurting. I argued that I didn't want to go to the Waffle House. But I didn't know that the Waffle House, the building, had a surprise for me because I'm out here. I'm out here and I'm enjoying my environment. Like my environment is my teacher because I don't deny that God is in everything. So I don't miss nothing, baby. You're missing it. What happened is the Waffle House was calling me. So the Waffle House got on everybody's mind in the house. Everybody started saying the Waffle House. Well, it didn't get on my mind. I didn't want to go to the Waffle House. I said, who going to spend Christmas in the Waffle House? You know what I'm saying? But we ended up going to the Waffle House after trying to go to 4 other restaurants. They were too long. The wait time was too long. So no matter what I did, I was pushed to this Waffle House. But I had no idea that the Waffle House, the building called Waffle House, had a Christmas gift for me. It had a present for me. So it had energy trying to call me into the Waffle House. 5 minutes into the Waffle House, this old man walked into the Waffle House. It was Christmas Day. This old man was a Purple Heart vet. He looked like he was about 80-some years old. He had the decorated hat on, and you could tell that the gear he had on was a Christmas gift because it was all fresh, and you can tell they got this stuff handmade. You could tell it was personalized. The images on it was so big and so bright and so beautiful. It was actually looking like the colors in heaven. Like, wow, this entire being, he glowed to me, right? This is for you, Mr. Rage, by the way. As I'm looking at this man, he has on a Purple Heart t-shirt. Oh, it was so beautiful. You know what the Purple Heart award looks like for veterans? He had on a jacket, Rage. On this jacket, he had the most beautifulest Purple Heart on there. He had on the ring. This man was Purple Heart gear down. Now, can I deny an encounter like that? Get real. I can't deny no encounter like that. That was too much Purple Heart. And I know what Purple Heart means because God will give you a word that is personal. This word is so personal that you can't blame it on somebody else. You would be dumb to ask somebody else, is this happening to me? Because nobody can answer that because it's your life. It's your words that you have collected. It's your experiences that you have collected. And it's your images that you have collected. So God he used those to break down messages when he wants to talk to you. Or just when he just want to tap you on the shoulder and let you know he thinking about you. He's watching you. The eye is on you. Do you know when I realized that Purple Heart was my go-to? Do you know every place that we have been, when I revisit these places, it's a Purple Heart stash. These were places that I go every day, all the time. These Purple Hearts are stashed, letting me know you're on your path. See, I'm not off my path. Okay. We went out of town a few weeks ago thinking this was a bad idea. How many of y'all want to know if what you doing is right or wrong? Maybe it feel wrong, but you push to do it because you got to meet a deadline or something, right? We trying to pay bills. Money funny around here. So we take on a big task and we got to end up driving to another state. We had to pass plenty of states to get this little money, right? How about when we got there, we went, the place, the road we had to turn down was like Purple Heart Drive. You see what I'm saying? So I did all that bitching. I did all that mumbling, all that complaining. I don't want to ride this far. Oh my God, why we got to do this? Why we got to do that? Because God knows ahead of you. God has a plan somewhere else. So guess what? We had to turn down Purple Heart Drive. I go to a body shop. I hang out at this body shop all the time. Had no idea that the highway in front of the body shop is called Purple Heart Highway. I've been traveling down this highway for years and had no idea. No idea. During the pandemic, I stayed in the house, afraid to come out because I'm in rejection with my heart right now. And this is my third one, right? So I said, Lord, I don't want to go nowhere. My husband said, God telling me we can go eat tacos. God said this stuff don't belong to us. Like, we really need to go enjoy ourselves. I said, well, God gonna have to give me some kind of sign. Because, Rage, I don't move without a sign, because I learned what the word is. You don't know how bad you messed up when you said God ain't hidden in words. Because all he is word, baby. You only make sense with word. You don't make sense without word. That was dumb to say God isn't the word. God don't hide himself in the word. Where else is he, baby? Everything around you is a word. When I got to this restaurant, y'all, I sat there. Do you know I was eating in fear? I was in this place in fear. So to calm me down, something said, Tasha, will you look up? Because I can hear. And when I looked up, tell me why there was a purple heart hanging over my head. A purple heart was hanging over my head, and I went to this random restaurant, sat in this random seat. But you see how God got a word to me, and he calmed me. Now, with the message that I just gave, Rage, I've been wondering what God meant by milk so bad. And I had this dream maybe 6 years ago, going on 7 years ago. Yeah, it's about to be 7 years. I've been wondering what he meant by the land of milk and honey. Because, boy, the land I'm living in, from what I see, I don't like. This can't be the land of milk and honey. But, baby, milk and honey is your word. Milk and honey is the intent behind your word. Milk and honey is the messages inside of your belly that is spewing out of your fountain of youth, like fish with corn, because it's feeding people. You are the fish. You are the corn. So right now you're being a piranha, and you got nothing but sharp teeth, and you're after blood. You're not giving no kind of substance. You're sucking it up. You're dark matter. Like, you're sucking it up. And that's not good. But you claim to be Rage. So while you coming on TikTok, guess what you're doing, Rage? You're drawing in every person's rage on your channel. You drew in some of my rage, and I appreciate it, by the way. You took a lot of rage out of me. I appreciate you carrying that burden for me. Oh, and you can't give it back either. I done moved on. It's a block up. That's your rage now. But notice this with your little smart mouth. Every time you go on TikTok, I remember you said, I got 95 people on my channel. I got 95 people on my channel. I didn't even have to advertise myself. All I did was got on here and people just came. Well, everybody will come to a freak show. Everybody likes to be entertained. You're a negative being, and you're funny. Like, you're so funny that you're not funny. You're pitiful funny. Like, you're sad funny. You're a sinister funny. You're a sick funny. You're a demonic funny. Of course, people are going to be drawn to you because guess what? You're rage. And you brought people with rage to your channel. And this is a channel. And you're channeling negative energy. You're claiming to be the demon called rage. It's a demon called rage. You have walked into rage, meaning you're wearing rage. Your whole skin suit is rage, not the full armor of God. You're wearing rage. You're representing rage, and you're introducing everybody to rage. Where are you? Who are you? Who are you without this rage? I bet you a beautiful person. You just been beat up and you been hurt and you want to know God real bad. That's why you coming so hard. But the secrets are going to remain to you until you change some things. And the first thing you need to change is your name. Because when I tell you, them people weren't doing that but throwing what you wanted at you, which was rage. If you can only know what you've done to yourself on the inside, like what you've done to your health, and don't even tell me I'm speaking stupid stuff because I'm a heart transplant recipient. And one of the things that I got to witness was me being hooked up to machines. Every time I got upset, I argued, or my emotions just went left, my numbers began to drop. My heart began to be attacked. My nervous system was off. Like, you have no clue what the hell anger and rage, resentment, unforgiveness, and meanness does to your organs, does to your nervous system, does to your body. It's freaking damaging you. Like, it's slowly killing you. It's creating a dis-ease, a dysfunction, and you don't have no clue, and you're enraged the entire life. So you're keeping this going for hours upon hours upon hours. Nothing loving has came out of your mouth. Nothing positive have came out of your mouth. You're literally spitting rage. Like, I want you to know what you are right now. And you need to figure out who you are without the rage. Who are you? I think you have no clue to who you are. I think you want to know who you are, but you got too much pain. You're holding on to memories. You're believing the bad words. You're believing the negative words. You're even painting pictures for us to see the negative words in you, for us to see how you really feel, for us to see how you really are, because you behind that camera, you in your own private space, and you're revealing your true countenance to the world. You should be ashamed of yourself. What it is, you should seek knowledge instead of beating people up. I don't even know how you're going to be taught. You know what I'm saying? But I can only give you this. You could take it and you can't take it. This may not even compute to your mind because it's small and it's closed off. And right now you're rage. Like, you're the demon rage. So you ain't gonna hear none of this. This gonna fly. I'd be shocked if this touched you in any kind of way. You probably gonna call me all kind of bitches, all type of stuff coming out of your mouth. And I expect that because you are a monster. You're representing a monster. You're claiming to be, you worse than chaos. Chaos is a demon. You're worse than chaos, dude. You're rage. You're worse than anger. You name yourself the top of the food chain and then you wonder why. You wonder why. I could see you. I could see into your life, and it's pitiful. It's pitiful. It's so pitiful that you need someone else to feel like you do. You need someone else to disbelieve. Like, you need a cheering section. You need a cheering squad. You need somebody to be in agreement with you. And I see you got a couple of them. Do you know that's the only time I saw you smile? I seen you smile when people were telling you to keep going. Like you only doing good. But dude, it's so sad. Out of 90 some people, only like 3 people agreed with you. So that lets you know somewhere you ain't right. Like, I wouldn't want to ride in a car with you. I wouldn't walk across the street with you. I wouldn't even eat dinner with you. Like, you are a walking disaster. You are a walking terror. You are a walking killer of thought. You are a killer. You are a murderer in your acts, in your ways. You are an ugly monster. And let me tell you what happened to you today, Rage. You know, all that ugly stuff, you spewed it out. And somebody tried to tell you that God was in the words, right? But see, spirit is in the word. Soul is in the word. Life is in the word. So all them ugly words you spoke today, guess what? You created monsters. You created monsters. You created children. You created beings, and you've been this way for a while. So you have a family. So let me tell you what's going to happen to you if you don't change your ways, right? You see how you excited me today? That affected me. You see how them people was coming at you today trying to defend love. They weren't trying to defend God. They were trying to defend love because you was pushing it out. You was attacking it, right? Do you know everything that you have done today, you have created the very demons that are going to devour you at the end. See, you're a type of person, you probably looking for some demons to torture you. But see, since you blind and dumb and ignorant, and I'm talking to the spirit of the man, not the man, because it's not the man's fault. I'm exciting that spirit inside of you. You have created something that is going to take you out. You have created something that's going to keep you going through some time. You get out of one thing, you into another. Because its assignment isn't to love you. Because you don't have any love in what you're doing. So love is not allowed to be in what you have created. So these little invisible beings that you don't work so hard on creating today, their assignment is to take you out. Is to take you out. I bet you done been depressed. I bet you done thought about suicide. I bet you done did a lot of stuff that just ain't good. Cause you don't even got a countenance of good. The demon done took over your countenance. Like you can't even see love in you. But I can see sadness and hurt in you. And you pitiful. Like you're just pitiful. But you affected people. So when you do something and it affects people, that's something you got to get forgiveness for. Like you got to ask for my forgiveness for how you made me feel today. You got to ask forgiveness for how you made all them people feel. And you better go find them. Like you better figure out who you did today. Because all you did was add fuel to your life. All you did was knock down opportunities. All you did was shut doors. You trapped yourself. Like you build your own cell of hell. And the only words that you're hearing is the ones that come out of your mouth. But guess what? They gonna bounce off the wall and bite you in the face. They ain't gonna go nowhere. And they evil. And they're demonic. And they're mean. And there's no love in them. So you have trapped yourself. And you don't even realize you living in that hole, in that cell right now. That's why the only thing you can spew out is, I don't care. Man, don't no person of God come like that. Now, when you get ready, rage. When you ready to grow up, when you ready to defeat that demon that you done claimed, get your jug and come on. Because God have given me to the people of the East. Now, if you a person of another region, I don't know if I can help you. You know what I'm saying? I'm staying in my lane. I ain't coming over there in the regions. But I feel good now that I have a standing. I have a foundation, right? I'm in the land of milk and honey. And God said it is the most glorious place to be. Meaning it's the most glorious place to be. And he said that these people will be encamped around me. And they will come to me for fruit and milk. And I got some honey. So when you ready, rage, bring your milk jug, boo. I'm going to show you something. You said you want to see. You want to see. Well, if you didn't see during this broadcast, I don't know how you going to see. Y'all better talk to him, right? Go over there and throw some love at him. Because that brother is a walking fire with demons in it. And he really need to be off of this because he ain't playing.